Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm the inspirational Andy Murray from WhatCulture. And remember, never chop down a tree in winter.
And this is the news.
So, we got a big story here. John Oliver on, what's his show called? Last Week Tonight?
Yeah.
Absolutely skewered WWE. It was a 15 to 20 minute rant. He properly went in on the company here. It's all over the internet. You've probably seen stills, quotes, and clips from this thing. But basically, the gist of it was he was slamming WWE just before the WrestleMania week for their use of wrestlers, the way they classify them as independent contractors rather than full-time employees, which essentially lets WWE get away with things like not providing healthcare, not providing a pension scheme. He also mentioned like wrestling's startlingly bad mortality rate. He went in on specific on-screen incidents like Vince McMahon and his treatment of Trish Stratus back in the day, things like that. He did start off by acknowledging that he himself was a fan of wrestling. He mentioned incidents like Jake the Snake, obviously, biting I almost said Randy Orton, biting Randy Savage.
Big injury.
Braun Strowman and Big Show breaking the ring. So he did kind of go out of his way to make a point of that. But at the same time, this was an extremely critical and quite on-the-money breakdown of WWE's pretty gross practices.
So he's going to be appearing at WrestleMania then,
He's
basically.
definitely showing up, yeah. Match with John Cena confirmed.
Do you think this could be the catalyst for change? Because half the time when WWE does, I mean, not necessarily, this is a huge change, obviously. But
yeah.
Half the time they do stuff when the spotlight is on them. They almost feel compelled to do certain things.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. We probably need to wait about 24 hours, see what the overall media reaction to this kind of takedown is. Obviously, it will bring a lot of stuff that the general public perhaps weren't aware of to the forefront, and it'll shine a light on those business practices. But John Oliver did also speak on WWE in Saudi Arabia around about the time of Crown Jewel, and as we all know, nothing happened there. I will say this about John Oliver's rant, the whole thing was very well done. He's absolutely right when he talks about how WWE mistreat and overwork and really don't look after their employees all that well. He kind of undermined the whole thing by saying that Roman Reigns, and this is a direct quote, looks like a paedophile. So, yeah, maybe not the best target there. Maybe you should have rethought that one. Not so good. But, it was, other than that, a well put together thing, and it'll be interesting to see what comes of it.
Coming up, we're going to tell you about two huge WrestleMania matches that have been added to the card. But before we get to that, John Cena's match at WrestleMania 35, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, is a closely guarded secret within the WWE.
Yeah.
Now, that either means that they just don't want him interrupting, let's say, Elias to be leaked, or they might have big plans for him.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Because, like, last year, obviously, John Cena walked in without an officially announced match. We all knew it was going to be The Undertaker, and that
got pished up.
Yeah, he did got pished up in the front row, having bevs with the boys. That ended the way it did. A lot of people were really dissatisfied with that. The fact that they're keeping it so closely guarded suggests to me that they do have something big planned, and I reckon if I was a gambling man, I would say that it's probably Kurt Angle. Maybe he replaces Big Banner, Baron Corbin somehow.
We can dream. I mean, all these dream matches that we're seeing on Raw and SmackDown with Angle to build towards the match against Baron Corbin doesn't really make sense at WrestleMania. Yes, for once, it is a sensible conclusion to a long-running WWE storyline, but it's not the last match you want to see Kurt Angle wrestling.
No, absolutely not. Kurt Angle's farewell tour has been fun. I really loved Randy Orton this week, just ruining the AJ Styles match. Take that, you nerds. It was really good stuff. Baron Corbin, I love. We've been through this several times. I think he's great, but also terrible. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this.
Absolutely.
Speaking of interesting, that was a rough segue. Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze has yesterday become the latest WWE superstar to kind of voice his frustration on his place in the company. So I'm just going to read you 4 tweets that Prince Pretty made last night. The first one that started this whole thing off was, eventually you say, no thank you, I'm worth more. Obviously, quite a thinly veiled shot at his position in WWE. He also tweeted saying, been underutilized or whatever you want to call it for 4 years with a cheeky emoji. Another one. Someone asked, tough day today. He replied saying, no more than usual, see ya on main event tomorrow. And then his final one, somebody suggests that there's a big plan coming when the Fashion Police, when Fandango returns. Tyler Breeze says, you don't actually think there's a plan, do you? So, pretty obvious what he's doing there, and perfectly understandable. I think the man's been on Raw 6 times since Fandango was injured last June. He's on main event a lot, but who watches main event? He's nowhere to be found. He did get that little crowd-pleasing return to NXT last year, but it's easy to understand why a talented guy like Tyler Breeze would be a little bit upset.
I think he's fantastic. He's one of those I'm really hoping they decide to just give a random push to after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I love the Fashion Police. I think they're genuinely hilarious. I think they're a great tag team, and they should be doing more with them. But if not, as a tag team, Tyler Breeze himself, we saw in NXT can do stuff, and they just really botched his main roster call-up.
Yeah, he didn't really do all that much when he came up as a singles act. The Fashion Police were hilarious. I loved the Fashion Files every single week on SmackDown. Then they went to Raw, and they just kind of became rank and file, and it was a real shame. And now he's doing nothing at all. Now, obviously, WWE cannot push everyone at once, but it'd be nice to see Mr. Breeze get a little run.
Final news story of the day, and Triple H is going to AEW. That is... No, of course not. April Fools.
Get in.
No, the final news story of today centres around the 2 tag team titles matches that are set to take place at WrestleMania 35. Again, according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer, he says that we're going to get the Revival versus Ricochet and Aleister Black. That's going to be added on Raw tonight. And then tomorrow night, as probably expected, due to them coming out and just forfeiting their match against the New Day as part of that gauntlet last week, the Usos are more than likely probably going to be punished by being thrown into a sort of multi-man tag team ladder match, I assume.
Maybe that would kind of fit.
Probably, it would make sense with the likes of The Bar, Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, and quite possibly the Hardy Boys. Good, makes sense, both of these. I mean, one of them's going to be chucked on the pre-show, but even so.
Well, I mean, both of them might be chucked on the pre-show at this rate. It's interesting because WWE seem to be building towards or hinting at an Usos versus Hardys match. The Usos cut a promo the other week when they said we're going to face brothers who are just like us, but brothers who are nothing like us. So that would have made sense. That would have been fun. It is technically a dream match because it's 2 different generations of tag team wrestling colliding, 2 of the best tag teams in WWE history, if you ask me. But yeah, this piece of booking does make sense. The multi-man, punishment, whatever. It might even be a gauntlet. Who knows? God knows we need another long match on this show, folks. The Aleister Black and Ricochet, I believe they're facing the Revival on Raw tonight as well, so that's an easy way to set it up. That's pre-show fodder, and it's getting 6 minutes, unfortunately. So good.
Thanks, guys. Good work.
Yeah.
But
great.
yeah, four-way ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles is where I'd go.
I'm with that.
Yeah. Let's move on to today's Twitter questions. Don't forget you can tweet them at us at WhatCulture WWE. We start with a question from JJ, who says, how would you feel if WWE decided to unify the women's titles and then introduce or rebrand the European title as a mid-card belt for the women? I like that idea.
I quite like that as well. I think that perhaps there's a danger there if we have 3 separate women's championships that are all floating around on the same set of shows. I think that is a weird little precedent to set. However, I think that perhaps combining the 2 mainline women's titles is a good idea. We've seen the SmackDown Women's Belt has really struggled since all the big stars basically started appearing on Raw. Asuka was obviously demolished. Well, it was a great match, but she was really buried this week. Yeah, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world at all.
I think I completely agree. I think you need tag titles, a main women's title, and then, a sort of, like you say, European title, a mid-card title that you can hoy on. Someone like a Carmella as a good sort of stepping stone before you move up. Imagine if you put it on someone like Mandy Rose,
Sonya
build her
Deville,
up, to before they tackle someone like a
You're
Becky
selling
Lynch.
me on this, actually.
Yeah. Next question comes from Matthew Cross, who says, have you guys noticed that the Not Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal hasn't been really advertised at all? Could there be some surprises like Melina?
Absolutely. I mean, I think they only officially announced it on Twitter the other day, so that's
they only responded with some great shade.
Her social media pattern is absolutely tremendous. Yeah, I think there will be surprises. There just aren't enough people to fill in it regardless, to fill the damn thing up. There'll be a few from NXT, a few random ones, maybe Casey Catanzaro, people like that.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool. Other than that, yeah, Melina makes sense. I mean, she's one of the few people who hasn't returned as part of the women's revolution over the past few years. I could see it happening.
Get Ivory back out there. She loves it.
Yeah, she's mad for the crack.
Right, final question today, and I love this, from James Wilson, who says, are you guys as terrified as I am about Raw tonight as it's April 1st?
Yes, Aberdeen Football Club striker James Wilson. I am very, very worried about the go-home Raw. WWE go-home shows are typically quite lame in the first place because they don't have to sell pay-per-views anymore. They just take it easy. And it's April 1st. Yeah, we're getting some wacky banter coming up, aren't we?
This is going to be prime Vince banter. You've already probably paid for the network ahead of WrestleMania. They don't need to sell you on the 14 million matches that are going to be taking place. So it is going to be 3 hours of banter.
Yeah, opening segment, Vince McMahon announces Brock Lesnar will no longer be defending his Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. He will instead be facing Mojo.
Oh dear. Right, let's move on to today's and finally. And it's more of a request, really. We are just over 4 months away until my birthday. And you know, I was never really sure what to get someone for their birthday. Well, I'd like a personalised message from Big E, because he's now on the website Cameo. I want to play you a little bit of a clip here of his introduction video, but you can get a little, I think it's like $30, and you can get him to do a special personalised message.
Oh, man.
And it sounds like this.
Greetings, blessings, salutations. I am Biggie, and I am now on Cameo. If you'd like a shout out for a birthday, a quinceañera, a surprise party, whatever, I am now here on Cameo. Book me on cameo.com.
I love it. He is the best, and shall we get him to introduce our live show in New York?
Well, if we do that, what's Tamatonga going to do?
Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can send us Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Whilst there, you can follow both of us. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. You can follow our lovely editor at Phil My Chambers. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.